Peace, fam, it's your brother Ben X. Welcome to episode 4. Today we're gonna be talking about them dogs that you've been seeing.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
What made you want to get a Canine Corso?
Well, actually, Prophet, my dog trainer, is the one who wanted to give me a Canine Corso. He, just looking at my swag and just the way that I am, he wanted to get something that fit me. And he was like, man, I got a surprise for you. I got the perfect dog for you, just how you are. I didn't know what he was gonna choose. And he called me one day on the phone and was like, man, I got something, man. I got a surprise. I'm like, okay, what is it? He said, man, I got this Canine Corso. So the first time he called me, we had one right from Brazil.
So I first went to Brazil, to get this puppy for him. And the guy who I was getting him from was retiring, right? And I recommend this to anybody. If you're new in this process and you don't know anything about it, don't go pick your own puppy, right? Call an expert like me, right? And let us help you get you a puppy. But don't just go get one because you're gonna end up with a dud. I can almost guarantee it.
That was gonna be like around $3,000. And I'm talking about within a day, that bad boy was gone. So like they moved like that. He hit me back maybe like a couple days later and said, I got somebody else, but we gotta move fast. So I need you to put down a deposit. So I put down a deposit of $1,000 and he said, yeah, man, I got this Canine Corso. Now, ironically, I had just seen the Canine Corso that he was training for protection. I don't really know dogs like that. I know Pitbulls, Rottweilers and all that. My wife even say I say it wrong. I say Rottweiler. She say it's Rottweiler, whatever the case may be. German Shepherds, the typical popular dogs. So I had just seen the Canine Corso being trained for protection training. And I'm like, man, that's a pretty cool dog. I like the coat on it. The black, I like how it look kind of like silky. It's just shiny. I say, man, I like that. And then I've always wanted a dog that, look aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, it's a funny story. The dog that we already had, which her name is Prada, I thought that was a bully. Now, when y'all see Prada, don't laugh. But again, I didn't know dogs like that. So I'm thinking, he's telling us this is a bully dog. I don't really know, I'm thinking, oh, it's just a baby. It looks like that for now. I posted online, man, they laughing at me, bro. They ain't no damn bully. So they going in, so I find out it's probably a Pitbull Terrier, something like that. So I'm cool, it's a Pitbull. So I always wanted a dog that had like a big presence to it, but that was, wasn't too aggressive, but if you play, it's gonna be on, kind of like security. Look, brother, he cool, he respectful, but if you do something, we can move some furniture around here. So that's kind of what I wanted in a dog, and when I visualize a dog, like a pit bull kind of mixed with a bully, I actually see now that I know what they look like big, a Canine Corso. Like I like how it looks. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's go with it. I love it.
What made you choose Prophet as the trainer and everything? How did that come about?
So I was online, and when we first got the pit bull, I'm like, I'm looking for a trainer. And they start tagging actually Jeremiah. The brother named Jeremiah is actually who I found on Instagram, and his trainer who taught him how to train dogs is Prophet. All right, so we got 10.5-week old. Her name is, I call it Cane Corso, but the Canine Corso, whatever they say. So we got the great brother Prophet. He's training Prada. She's a pit bull, but we're gonna start her off as a baby. So we just got her home, and we're just gonna be documenting the process of getting her trained. Many people are gonna have new puppies. Many people that's been reaching out to me saying, man, I wanna get me one. But I'm pretty sure you got questions like me. How do we keep the dog crate trained? How do you get her to sit? How do you get her to come? How do you get her to fetch and do all that good stuff? And that's what the great brother Prophet is gonna show us how to do. So we're just gonna document the process. Right now, she doesn't understand sit, stay, heel, all that type of stuff. But by the time we finish this, she will know how to do all of the above. So we're gonna pass it over to the great trainer, brother Prophet.
It's good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. You mentioned a lot of things. And one of the things that's really important is understanding that we don't have communication, right? She don't know a lot of words, right? The idea in canine development, right, and domestication is to create that language through conversation, right? developing her and domesticating her so that when you get to obedience, it becomes a little easier, especially because she's a puppet. When you look at the language between you and her, it's like this right now, right? And we want that language to grow, grow, and grow. And the idea behind that is most people don't understand that domestication and canine development is even more important than sit down, stay. That's
Now break down for us, what does domestication mean? Because I heard you use that word a lot.
yeah. Domestication is a derivative of a word dominate, right? It comes from, it's not completely from that, but it's a variable associated with that word. And the idea behind that is you are not her master. You're just the owner, right? And so when we train and develop, we want to turn you into a master, right? With your dog, right? It's okay for her to do it good for me, but what about you? She's way over there, right? And you know, marinated in something, this beautiful backyard, right? But you can call her and make her what? Stop doing what she's doing and come over and you don't have to go get her. That's what you want. You want that language to be fluent, right? And your voice has to be the voice of your wife and your children. Those voices have to be the voices above everything in her world. She's living under your laws, constitution that dictates, right? And so she has to have that transferred to her. That's domestication. You want a dog that looks like they don't bite. The highest level of obedience is protection. Protection is the highest level of obedience. It's only another command, right? It's not nothing to make a big deal out of, right? It's another command. Sit, down, stay, come, protect, stop, go play. It's that simple. And that's how we want her to arrive into the world, right? So that when people see her, they're not offended, right? You know, a lot of people don't understand that the responsibility of an owner turned into a master, which most owners never become masters. That's amazing, right? But the responsibility is yours. Do you know that if somebody falls down, your dog was doing nothing aggressive toward them, but you were walking your dog on the sidewalk, sharing the sidewalk, and they go, oh, and fall, you're liable, right? Because you're not being taught how to manage that process, right? You're not being taught how to make your dog what? Domesticated, so that dog lives well around people and is what considered a good citizen.
Next question is, okay, we just got the dog, and of course most people want to get the down, the stay, and all that. What are the first exercises that needs to be done daily? Like hey, if you don't do nothing else, work on these training tips.
The first exercises that need to be done daily is to build that communication, right? Like simple, right? You know, take the ball, get her enthusiastic with the ball, throw the ball, tell her, good girl, let her get the ball. She might not even hold it, but you started a dialect, right? You started something, right? And then 7 days later, she's actually getting it and bringing it to you. We like to rush to the objective. And what I attempt to get people to do is when they give me their dogs or they have me guide them through the journey of raising their dogs, don't rush to the objective, because you want this to imprint your dog for life. Well, you've heard people say, or maybe you experienced somebody else saying, my dog used to be trained. Well, there's no such thing as that, right? Your dog was never trained in the first place. Because if your dog was trained, ED, that means complete. They were done, right? They don't untrain. It's a little like you being famous. You can't be unfamous, right? You're stuck, right? Right? And so that's the way it is with that. You want to increase that dialect, right? Don't rush to the final objective, right? Build with her. Give her a reason to come over here, right? She's playing. She's a puppy. She's in dream world. Give her a reason to let everything else she's doing go and get her to come over here. Simple things, you know, just simple things like get some treats. One thing about puppies, you can use treats with puppies. I don't use treats with big dogs. I don't use treats with dogs that are puppies that are getting ready to be like 6 months or something. 4.5, I'm a little, take them treats away, right? So like a mama take that bottle away, right? So you know, but do little stuff as a game, like, and do it for a few seconds, like not for no. It's our session. I'm gonna work her. No, play with her, right? Get you some treats that she really loves. Put one right there in front of her. Let her get it. Then make her look back at you, because you got the treat. Good girl. You just reach right over her head, right? You don't even have to, oh, sit, the whip and cha-cha, shake you wild beast. No, you take that treat, push it up over her head, force her head back, bam. She said, good girl. You just taught her to sit. And keep your exercises short and sweet. You'd be surprised how much a puppy remember in just a short space of time.
As far as games, so let's say for example we got the ball.
Okay.
And I want her to play fetch.
Right.
What would be the way to get her to play fetch?
Have you been playing with her with that ball?
No, because
She ain't interested, right? So let's see if we can get her interested. Now the key with a puppy is you don't want them walking away from you. So if you're gonna play a game, play to win. So the best way to play this game is with treats. If I got a treat, I got her to move forward once. If I'd have had a treat, that would have been double the win.
Come on. Sit. Good girl. Come on.
Push back over the head.
Sit.
Good girl. Come on. Sit. Ouch! She bit my finger. But you get the idea, right?
Yeah, I was trying to do that down.
Now, I don't normally do down like that, so I'm gonna stay away from that. That's some stuff I saw on YouTube. Now, I want you to step right over there in that yellow spot and say, come here, girl, talk to her.
Come here.
Good, give her a treat. Turn around, take a whole body. Toward me. All right. You turn the whole body, there you go. Come on, girl. Come on. Good girl. So when you turn the body around, you turn it around like that, and you call her now. Come toward her. There you go. Come toward her. There you go. There you go. And if you do that in succession over a period of time, guess what? She'll be coming across the yard. So positive reinforcement is always what it takes to keep you going, right? Whatever that is, it could be a treat, it could be picking her up and holding her, right? It could be taking her out for a walk and just letting her run and come back and have her ask her to do something after that. That's positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement would be associated with something that's gonna bring her harm. Like, it looks like water, but it's a bowl of poison, right? I'm not gonna make that a nicety, come little, because she's gonna go right back over there. I just took a piece of meat today and threw it over the fence. The Rottweiler tried to go under the fence to get the meat. Meat's gone. Try to go under the fence to get the meat. So let's just pretend that's a liquid substance. Maybe it's whatever it is, right? It's gonna do them harm, right? So I need that experience to be something that makes them forego that decision, right? That says to them, nah, that's okay, you can keep the meat. Some people use the e-collar, all right? Some people use a choke chain or spike collar. The problem with spike collars and choke collars is as they get older, they become numb to them. They don't work, they've built a callus. And so that type of irritation is not sound enough anymore.
What are some house behaviors if they're gonna have an inside dog? What are some house behaviors we want to train? Is it, about the door, about when to come out the crate, about how to keep them?
Let's start with the door.
Okay.
Make it a habit that when you get ready to go to the door, take a treat with you, right? Make her sit first, right? And not only make her sit, but make her wait, right? That's so important. People skip right over that. Don't only make them sit, make them wait, right? And each time you do it, make them wait a little bit longer, right? Wait is so important. You make her wait. Got you, right? But make her sit and make her wait. That's a household behavior that you can deal with every day. You know why? Because that puppy won't do what? Shoot out the door. Make somebody fall or get hit by a car, right?
So with her, how we do a weight, make a weight.
I'll show you. Give me a treat. So I'm gonna say, hey, come on, sit. Good girl. Hey. Good girl. Good girl. Bam. I want to beat her. I don't want her to beat me and get out of sort, right? So I want to get her. Come here. Hey, sit. Sit. Okay, good girl. I gotta beat her. That's the idea, is to beat her. Remember, you're not gonna get it all done in a day. It's a process, right? You know, when a baby's coming into the world, they start crawling, hopping, swimming, everything, and so they learn how to walk, right? And oddly enough, even when they get hurt, they don't do what? They don't give up. For me, this training session would have been over, right? I work with a puppy exclusively talking about puppies. I give them a few minutes, right? Maybe 10 minutes, and the session is over because they have a short attention span. But guess what? Wherever they have a good experience throughout that 10 minutes, guess what? They'll remember tomorrow.
With a puppy, you're not doing no hour training, working a dog 30 minutes an hour. It can be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 times a day, just to keep it fresh on their mind. How many of us are really doing that with people that we're disappointed with, displeased with, showing them, being patient with them, and training them into, not that you treat them like a dog, but there's some courtesy that has to be there to get a person to be what you want them to be or who you would like them to be through communication. Well, I think today was a great start for the basics. We learned about sit, we learned about calming, and we learned about how to, make sure that she's motivated. And the main thing that I got out of today is you want to get the dog to do the action, and then we're gonna name it later. When you get new dogs, of course the dog doesn't understand what we're saying when we say sit. She doesn't understand when I say come, so I have to give her the action, then name it later. So I think that's a very important part. So I think even now, she's sitting because she think I'm gonna give her one. Good job. Honestly, if I can be 100% real, through this dog training process, I learned a lot about communication that can be used with human beings. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, not chastising somebody for something that you haven't even taught them. How often do we do that to children? How often do we do this to our employees, people that we're working for, people that's working for us? We don't even set expectations. We don't display, show them, demonstrate what you want from them before just throwing them out there and saying, I should do it. So when you get a dog, you don't say, sit. Damn it, I said sit. You ain't even taught the dog what sit means. You haven't even showed them what it means to sit. You haven't rewarded them when they done it right. So as I started to do that, I said, wow, think about how many marriages where people are getting together and y'all done fell in love over sex, or maybe y'all have had a conversation, but there's other expectations and what I've learned in therapy called covert agreements that you have with a person that they don't even have. You expect this person to do this, talk to you like this, teach you about this, but you've never verbally expressed it. And then you chastise the person for not doing it. That's wrong. So, for you to beat on a dog, to discipline a dog for not sitting, laying down, for not coming, and you don't even know, you haven't even taught them how to do those things or what you want from them, is wrong. So I've learned a lot about how to communicate with human beings through learning about how to train a dog. And a lot of us are more patient with dogs than we are with human beings. We are more considerate of dogs than we are of human beings just because we are human beings. But at the end of the day, it's still two brains. If you have not taught me something, if you have not showed me something, if you're not willing to be patient with me, like a name, it takes time for the dog to learn a name. It takes time for the dog to do and respond the way that you want him to. If I have been this person all my life for 20 plus years, and I meet you and you my business partner, or you my friend, you my wife, or he's your husband, how can you expect them to get this off one command? I can't get a new dog and say, sit, this is what this means, and then come back tomorrow and I think he's gonna have it perfected. This is gonna be over time, training, discipline, and training is every day, even if it's just 15 seconds, I heard.
What's just your perspective on him as a trainer in these beginning stages? How do you feel about him? What do you see?
Prophet is very surprising to me. When you first see him, when he walks out, he has this very slow walk, like as if he barely can move. But when you see him, when he dealing with them dogs in the protective training, he moving. So it's like, wow, I wouldn't even think he moved like that. So he really skillful when it comes to training. One of the things, you know, when I first came, I was a little nervous, honestly, not of him, but like, I never handled dogs. So when he was like doing corrections, like when you walking a dog, if she gets, you know, distracted, you supposed to, you know, pop the collar. I'm doing like, cause I'm thinking like, damn, if I do this, gonna break the damn dog neck. He like, no, man, that's a dog. Like, snap it. Then he showed me how to do it. So I learned those things through him, you know, just learning about how to take care of the dog. You're not gonna hurt the dog. It's correcting the dog. You know, it's harmless. It's just, you know, gonna give a little correction. And just his knowledge about dogs. Like, he understands the psychology of dogs, the behavior, things of that nature that needs to be done. And it's not treat driven.
Where'd the idea of the whole academy thing come from, that vision?
For me, man, I like to say God gives me my curriculum. Whatever I'm dealing with in life, whatever I'm struggling with, I look at it as God is putting me in a position of a beginner. And I know I'm going to eventually master something, but there's millions of people that's just like me, so why not create an academy? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that business is the activity of life. If I know that I'm struggling in this, and I can learn from white folks. I've been learning tips and tricks from YouTube and things of that nature, but if I'm gonna be honest, I always wanna learn from somebody that looks like me. I don't see a lot of black academies of dog training and quality videos. Yeah, we got videos out there, but it's the phone footage, it's bootleg. I want some quality lighting just like they got lighting. Good mics just like they got good mics. So I can come from the perspective of, I don't know what AKC mean when it comes to a dog. I don't know what the dog training as far as keeping them in a cage means. I don't know what should I give them as a puppy versus when should I transition to dog food, or, you know, the older dog food. I don't know how often should they have the shots, how many shots should they have. I didn't realize that you can't take a dog outside if they don't have the shots and things of that nature. So all the different things that I'm learning about the basics, shoot, somebody out there is getting a new dog too, and they don't know these things. And so I wanted to create the academy to pretty much show somebody from A to Z what it would be like handling a dog, training a dog, and raising a dog in the home. So then that makes the dog a write-off. That makes the leashes a write-off. That makes the food a write-off, because I'm using all of that for content. So I'm always finding a way to service other people, of course monetize and make money from it as well through the value, but I'm also in that process adding value to self as well. I'm adding value to Prophet. Prophet doesn't know social media like I know social media. I don't know training like he knows training. So why would I sit here and try to learn off YouTube when I got a man right here in my midst that can help my dog, train my dog, and in exchange for that, I can help him by helping him build an academy. So I always like to find a way to add value to other people, and then they add value to me. So instead of me now having to take money out of my pocket, thousands of dollars, to spend on him or invest in him or invest in myself with him to get the dog trained, I already have something of value. I got social media, I got a following, I got a brand, I got a mind that know how to take his knowledge and put it in a fine language and in the blueprint and the program to benefit him. So it will benefit him more for me to help him create an academy than me to pay him a couple $1,000s. He gonna make more than that working with me. So that was the thought process that I had in coming up with the academy idea. Honestly, for me, man, these dogs, I see this as a way also for me to build a bond with my family. The children, they love the dogs, especially my son Taji. So us playing fetch with the dog, us training with the dog, us just, you know, being around the dog is gonna be another activity that me and the children can do. 1, 2, protection. Prophet specifically is good at personal protection dogs. Of course, I'm in the Nation of Islam, I'm Brother Ben X, I'm a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I won't always have security with me. You know, there's been times when I could afford security to be around me 24/7, or not 24/7, but all the time. And there's been times that I can't. But if I know I got this dog, shoot, you know, that's my protection, you know, for a lot of times when a human being or a brother can't be with me. And of course, turn it into a business, you know, have my own litter, if you will. You know, I don't know all that language yet, obviously, I'm, you know, still learning. But I have, you know, I'll be having puppies that I'll be selling, you know, from the Cane Corso, Corso. So that's why we got a girl Cane Corso first, because as she grows up and she's being trained and she's coming from a magnificent bloodline. Her grandfather was the top Cane Corso in 2019. So we got a good bloodline. And as we go through this process of me learning how to train them, the puppies are not just gonna be puppies, we're gonna be training the puppies too. So you're not just gonna buy a Cane Corso, you're gonna get a trained Cane Corso. So that's gonna become a business that I run. We got the academy, we got the puppies that we can sell, and you know, we got a dog for the family that we all can grow to love and have as protection. You know, we just got a home, so we need protection for the home, outside and things of that nature. So that's pretty much the end game. And honestly, I'm actually kind of falling in love with the process of, you know, training the dogs and building that relationship and things of that nature, because it's something different. You know, I'm used to my release being basketball, you know what I mean? So as I get older, you know, I never thought in a million years I would love dogs like this, or like dogs, or even like this process. But, you know, it's pretty fun. It's something different that I can do outside the house, outside of making content and being behind a desk and, you know, just always focus on something. Like I can kind of, if you will, let my hair down. It's not always me giving instruction. You know, I can play with the dog and people are watching, tuned in because they like dogs, but I'm also can drop lessons about communication and behavior, and just gives me another way and another avenue to deliver a message as well.